back to the video series on how to create a React component library. In the first video, we set up the project with Parcel, TypeScript, and React. And today, we're going to go and support Sass and be able to style this thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and install our Sass dependency. And then let's go ahead and go over to the package.json file. So one thing to understand about Parcel is that you can have multiple targets whenever you're doing a build. And we don't necessarily want to include, and let me kind of preface this, we're not going to use CSS-Modules. We're just going to create a standalone CSS file that gets generated and sent out to the DOM, and that's all you ever have to worry about. It'll make it less confusing. It'll be a little bit easier to give you a quick intro into setting up multiple targets for TypeScript and Parcel. So we already went ahead and installed Sass. Now the next thing that we need to do is look at how can we set up multiple targets. And since we're building a library, we don't necessarily want to import Sass or the CSS file at the main entry point because trying to export that into another file would be kind of difficult. So I went ahead and decided that we're going to do a multiple target setup. And the way that we can see this is that the source field with any target declared in the package.json file can specify one or more target entries. So you could build out an HTML file, and you could also build out the source for like maybe the JavaScript or etc. And so that's basically what we're going to go ahead and do today. Now, if we go ahead and move over into our package.json file, right below our description, we're going to include a snippet here that says targets. We have our CSS, which is going to be source, and then we're going to say styles.main.css or SCSS. And then we're going to have our main, which is our source. So this is coming from main.js, which is going to be source index.ts, and our types are going to be the same. And then we need to create a CSS entry, which is going to be our exit point, which is going to be dist/main.css, like so. So now we're going to go ahead and scaffold out our styles. And for right now, we're just going to create a main file here called main.scss. And we're going to put in a button. I'm going to say background color is orange. And we're going to say npm run build. And that's actually going to install the Sass transformer. And when we go look at our dist, we now have a background color of orange. Now, another thing to realize when we're building out a package, and I might as well go ahead and cover it here, and I'll cover it in the next video as well, when we start getting this component library ready to be published out to the NPM world. And we need to specify what files we want available in NPM. And the way that we can do that is declaring the files specifically in our package.json that we would like to be exported to NPM. So we're going to create a files array, and we're going to say anything that lives within the distribution folder and anything within it as well. That's the only files that we want to display inside of NPM when somebody installs this. Is going to be our main file, our CSS file, our main.js file, our types, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and save that, and we're good to go. We'll catch you in the next one.